Let's face it, being lazy has always gotten a bad rap. People say it's the enemy of productivity, the nemesis of ambition. But what if laziness could be the secret weapon in a world where artificial intelligence is rewriting the rules of creativity, content, and how we go viral online? What if, instead of fighting the urge to slack off, you could let AI do the heavy lifting while you sit back, relax, and watch your ideas spread like wildfire? Imagine waking up one morning with a simple thought. You want to be the next big thing on the internet, but you have zero intention of spending countless hours brainstorming, editing, or hustling through the grind of content creation. You're not about the hustle culture. You're about working smart, not hard. And as you scroll through your feed, you realize something. The game has changed. The rise of AI tools means you no longer have to be a genius editor or a charismatic influencer. All you need is a spark of curiosity and the willingness to let technology take the wheel. It starts with an idea. Maybe it's a meme, a clever tweet, or a quirky video concept. In the old days, you'd have to craft every word, shoot every frame, and hope for inspiration to strike when you're exhausted from work or school. But now, with AI at your fingertips, you simply toss your idea into a digital black box and watch as it spins out content that's sharper, wittier, and more viral than anything you could have cooked up at midnight after too much caffeine. You open up a generative AI chatbot and type in your prompt. Write a funny script about being too lazy to go viral. Within seconds, it spits out a sketch filled with punchlines, relatable moments, and the kind of self-aware humor the internet loves. No second guessing, no writer's block, no wasted time. You copy, paste, and move on. But why stop at words? AI video generators are everywhere now. You upload a selfie, pick a style, and let synthetic avatars act out your script. You don't need a fancy camera or a green screen. Just a few clicks, and you've got a video ready to upload. It's surreal, almost magical, how the barriers to entry have crumbled. The line between creator and consumer is blurrier than ever. You might think, isn't this cheating? But here's the thing. The internet has always rewarded those who find clever shortcuts. The first viral sensations weren't always the hardest workers. They were the ones who understood the culture, who spotted trends before anyone else, and who knew when to ride the wave. Now, with AI, you don't have to be a trendsetter. You just have to know how to prompt. And prompt you do. Want to hop on the latest dance challenge? AI can generate a deep fake of you nailing every move, even if your real-life dancing is strictly limited to awkward wedding receptions. Need a catchy song to go with your video? AI music generators can compose a viral hook in seconds, tailored to whatever genre is blowing up on TikTok this week. Even the captions, the clever one-liners that get people to stop scrolling, can be whipped up by a bot that knows exactly what's trending. The results are astonishing. Videos you spent mere minutes on rack up thousands, sometimes millions of views. Comments pour in, people laugh, share, and remix your content, never suspecting that the real star of the show is an algorithm working quietly in the background. You become known for your wit, your timing, your ability to always be at the crest of the next big wave. And all you had to do was press a few buttons. But it's not just about going viral for the sake of internet points. There's something fascinating about how AI changes the creative process. It's like having a brainstorming partner who never gets tired, never judges your weirdest ideas, and can turn even the most half-baked thought into something polished. You start to see the world differently, not as a place where you have to outwork everyone else, but as a playground where imagination, amplified by technology, can carry you farther than effort alone ever could. Of course, there are those who frown on this approach. They say it devalues real creativity, that it's soulless and absurd, that it floods the internet with noise. But history tells a different story. Every leap in technology, from the printing press to the camera to the personal computer, has lowered the barrier for expression and unleashed new waves of creativity. AI is just the latest chapter, and if you're being honest, letting AI do the work isn't just about laziness. It's about efficiency. Why spend hours struggling with an idea when you can get hundreds of iterations in minutes? Why let perfectionism hold you back when you can experiment at the speed of thought? The creative landscape is shifting from a marathon to a series of sprints, and the people who win aren't always the fastest. They're the ones who know how to delegate. You start to develop a sixth sense for what the algorithms want. You learn to craft prompts that hit the sweet spot between novelty and familiarity. You become a curator, a director, a conductor, guiding a symphony of artificial intelligence. The more you use these tools, the more you realize that laziness isn't the absence of ambition. It's the art of getting results with the least amount of friction. Some days, you barely lift a finger. You automate your posting schedule, set up bots to respond to comments, and let machine learning models analyze your audience for you. You watch as your follower count ticks upward, your notifications light up, and your influence grows, all while you binge-watch your favorite shows or take a nap. But here's the plot twist. The more you let AI handle the grunt work, the more creative you become. With the pressure off, your mind is free to wander. You dream up wilder concepts, experiment with new formats, and take risks you'd never have the energy for if you were stuck in the weeds of editing and optimization. The cycle feeds itself. Laziness leads to automation. Automation leads to inspiration. Inspiration leads to even more viral moments. It's not that you don't care about quality. In fact, you care more than ever, because now quality is about what resonates, not how much sweat you pour into each piece. You become a tastemaker, using AI as your brush and the internet as your canvas. You realize that the best creators aren't the ones who work the hardest, but the ones who work the smartest. Inevitably, you start to attract attention, not just from fans, but from other creators who want to know your secret. They reach out, asking how you manage to be everywhere at once, how you always seem to hit the zeitgeist at exactly the right moment. You tell them the truth. You're just lazy enough to let AI do the heavy lifting. You become part of a new wave, a movement of digital creators who aren't afraid to embrace automation. You swap tips, share the best prompts, and compete to see who can get their content to go viral with the least amount of effort. It's a game, and the winners are those who understand that in the age of AI, laziness isn't a flaw, it's a strategy. But as you ride this wave, you start to notice something deeper at play. The internet is changing. The lines between human and machine-made content are blurring. Audiences don't care who wrote the joke or shot the video. They care about how it makes them feel, how it connects them to something bigger. The democratization of virality means that anyone, anywhere, can have their moment in the spotlight, whether they're grinding away in a studio or lounging on the couch with a phone in hand. You realize that being lazy doesn't mean being disengaged. You're still plugged into the culture, still paying attention to what's trending, still finding ways to add your own spin. The difference is, you're not chained to the old methods. You're free to explore, to iterate, to play. The joy of creation comes not from the toil, but from the thrill of seeing your ideas come to life with a speed and scale that was unthinkable just a few years ago. There are challenges, of course. The more people use AI to go viral, the more crowded the internet becomes. The arms race for attention never stops. But you learn to adapt, to pivot, to use AI not just as a tool, but as a collaborator. You learn to embrace the chaos, to thrive in the noise, to find meaning in the madness. And in the quiet moments, when the notifications slow down and the buzz fades, you reflect on how far you've come. You think about the hours you used to waste chasing perfection, the frustration of ideas that never quite landed. Now, you let go of the need to control every detail. You trust the process, trust the algorithms, trust that sometimes the best thing you can do is step back and let the machines do their thing. It's liberating in a way. You're no longer beholden to the myth that hard work is the only path to success. You see that the world rewards those who adapt, who experiment, who are willing to let go of old habits and embrace new possibilities. AI is your shortcut, your cheat code, your ticket to the viral lottery. Of course, not everything goes viral. Some ideas flop, some videos get lost in the shuffle, but you don't sweat it. Because with AI, you can try again and again, spinning out new content with minimal effort. Failure isn't a setback, it's just another data point, another chance to refine your approach. You start to see yourself not as a content creator, but as a content orchestrator. You manage the flow of ideas, tweak the prompts, and let the AI do the rest. You're the conductor, guiding an invisible orchestra of algorithms that play the symphony of the internet. And the best part? You get to enjoy the music without breaking a sweat. In the end, laziness isn't about doing nothing. It's about finding the most efficient path to the result you want. In a world where AI can create, curate, and amplify your voice, being lazy is just another word for being strategic. It's about recognizing that time is your most valuable asset, and that sometimes the smartest thing you can do is let go and let technology take the wheel. So the next time someone tells you that laziness is holding you back, just smile. You know the truth. You're not lazy. You're leveraging the most powerful tools of your generation to go viral, make an impact, and redefine what it means to create in the digital age. You're living proof that in the right hands, a little bit of laziness can go a very long way.